Hey, first grade friends, Mr. B here with another math lesson. It's actually pretty bright outside right now while I'm recording this, so I had to put on some sunglasses, but don't worry, it's still me, okay? So, we're going to work on a math box to start today, and then we're going to talk about number grid puzzles and hundreds charts and kind of how they work together to help us find answers, okay? So, to start, we're going to look at our math box and look at number 1. Before we start, though, I want you to grab a piece of paper and something to write with. Okay, we're gonna do these problems together like we normally do. So I'll give you a minute, or you can pause the video to go grab a piece of paper and a pencil or pen to write with. All right, I hope you're back. If you're not, you can always rewind the video to make sure you stay on track with us, okay? So we're gonna look right here at 36 plus 22. Now, from our last lesson, we learned we wanna start with the ones place, and that would be 6 plus 2. 6 plus 2 is 8. And then we go to the tens place, which is 3 plus 2. 3 plus 2 is 5. So it's 58. Friends, when you break apart a problem like that, it actually makes it a lot easier and not as scary. Okay? We'll do it with even bigger and bigger numbers as you get older too. All right, this next one says shade or divide the rhombus in half and shade 1/2. So when I see 1 over 2, I know we need 2 parts because look at the bottom number. So I'm going to draw a line right down the middle. And now see I have 1/2, 1/2. And I'm going to color in shading a half. And I'll color on that side. Okay, now that 1/2 is shaded. All right, friends, we're going to look at our in and out chart here. Okay, so we put 15 in and we get out 5. So I see that 5 is less than 15, so I know we went down. Okay, so I'm going to write my minus sign to start. And the question is, how many did I go down? Now, if you remember from last time, we worked on subtracting and adding tens. So our problem would be 15. And I can see because the one place stayed the same that only the tens place changed. So it would actually be 15 minus 10 equals 5. So I know my rule is minus 10. Now, what's 21 minus 10? So remember we start with the ones place. What's 1 minus 0? That's 1. That's an easy one. And what's 2 minus 1? That's an easy one too. 2 minus 1 is 1, so we'd have 11 right there. Okay? Now, we're going to have to go backwards for this bottom one because see how from 84 to 74 we went down, but now if we're going from 94 to the other side, we have to go up. So what's 94 plus 10? Now, this is where it gets kind of tricky, but 94 plus 10 is 104. Okay, we're gonna go over number 4 and we're gonna write some fact families and some plus and minus problems. Okay, so on my one side of my I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm gonna write a 6 there. Other side I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'm gonna write a 9 there. Okay, now friends, I'm gonna give you a second to write out those 4 fact family problems right here before we go through them all together, okay? So I want you to pause the video so you can work, and when you're done with your answer, then play it again, okay? So that way we can make sure we're staying on track. Welcome back. If you just unpause your video, let's look at these together. So 6 plus 9, if we count all those up, that would equal 15. Okay? And our next fact for that one would be 9 plus 6 because we just flip these two around and the answer stays the same. Okay? Now with our minus facts, remember we've talked about the big number needs to come first. Okay? So that's our 15. And let's pick 6 to start. And I don't even have to do the math, friends. I know that the last number we're missing is 9. So 15 minus 6 equals 9. Okay? We're going to do our 15 again, so we start with our biggest number because it's our minus fact. 15 minus 9. And again, I didn't even think about this one. I know since 6 is our last number we haven't put in yet, that 6 is our answer. So 15 minus 9 equals 6. Awesome. We're going to go on to our number grids and kind of our lesson for today. So this is a number grid puzzle, and this is what your activity will look like in Seesaw today too. Okay? And you're going to fill in these missing squares that are in the black. Okay? Don't worry about all these ones. This would take us probably all day long to fill in all those numbers, so we don't have to worry about that. But I'm going to show you some strategies and tips to help you out with doing these problems. So let's start with kind of the easiest ones. So I see a 2, and since we all know how to count, we count 1, 2, what number would go right here? Write that one down. 3, then after that we'd go 4, 5. Awesome. Friends, you don't need to put a 6 here because we're just doing the ones in the boxes. Okay, so when you're going across or left to right, you're just going up by 1. Okay, now let's look at this 7. This gets kind of tricky. When you go down a 100 chart, you're actually going up by 10. Okay, so can you tell me what 10 plus 7 would equal? Write that answer down for me. 10 plus 7. Remember, we start with the ones place, and we'd get 17. So you see how I went down, and I added 10. Okay? We're going to add 10 more. So what's 17 plus 10? Now, if I go with the ones place first, I know it stays a 7. And we go to the tens place. What's 1 plus 10? Or 1 plus 1, sorry. 2, right. 27. Okay? And we're going to go down one more, and we get 37. Friends, do you see when I moved down the 100 chart, my 7 in the ones place stayed the same. Okay? But my tens place went up by 1 each time. Okay? So if you're moving down from 44, the 4 would stay the same, and you just count 1 up from 1, or from 4, excuse me. So 4 plus 1 equals 5. All right, now let's look at this one over here. This is kind of, this T1 includes kind of both. Okay, so 21, when we go from left to right or across this way, we just add 1. Okay, what's 21 plus 1? Instead of thinking it like a plus problem, you can think of it as just counting. Okay, so if I have 20, 21, 22, right? And that would go right there. Okay, and you can count again to get your next answer, which is 23. Okay, now when I move down, remember we need to add 10. Okay, and when I add 10, let's write this problem, 22 plus 10. When I add 10, the ones place value stays the same. So I know my 2 stays the same. And now I'm going to add 2 plus 1, which gets me 3. If I do that again, we get 42. And if I do that again, I get 52. Okay? So friends, my ones place, see that all the 2's stayed the same? And my 10's went up by 1. Okay? So in your activity on Seesaw, you're going to do something just like this, and those are the skills that you're going to practice. Okay? Just take one box at a time, and I promise it'll make it a lot easier, okay? If you have a problem, maybe like this one, let's change colors here. Like this one. What I don't want you to do is to try and figure out this one first. Okay? That's going to make it a lot trickier for you. Okay? What you want to do is figure out this box, then this box, then this box, then this box. I promise that will make it a lot easier for you. Okay? So that's all for our math lesson today. I will see you guys next time.